Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be learning how to draw Santa, and this is my first time ever making a YouTube video on how to draw this, so I really hope this helps in any way. And if you are new to my channel, I do have a Patreon and a Ko-fi, although I don't post too often on Ko-fi, but those platforms allow you to support me. And for example, Patreon would allow you to support me monthly. If you're interested, it can be really cheap, anywhere from $2 all the way up to $50. So again, not too expensive, kind of around the affordable area. Again, it really just helps in supporting me. So if you're interested, the link is in the description as well as at the top of the comments, and you can also commission me as well. Alright, so with that being said, let's hop right into it. Okay, so for this video, we're just going to be drawing the head. I do say this a lot with my videos, but if you want to see a full body, definitely, feel free to let me know. This is just for someone that wants to quickly get a Santa piece drawn. Nothing super fancy, just the head, not the body or anything like that. So I'm going to start with just a really basic line. I'm actually trying not to press too down on my pencil, but I end up doing it anyways. I would refrain from doing that, but you're going to make a slight curve, and then we're going to bring it down like this. Just like that, so it's kind of like, coming out a little bit. I'm gonna stop right there, and there's a reason for that. You'll see in just a second. But the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start about right here. Again, I'm gonna try to use my lines or my pencil really soft. I'm not gonna press down too hard. We're actually gonna overlap right here. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is his nose. I would even go so far as to say the end has a very slight point, not extremely noticeable. And then you're actually going to overlap again like that. And I'm going to be honest, that looks a little bit weird to me, but the reference photo that I'm looking at kind of looks like that. Okay, and I'm going to darken just the very end right here, just slightly, because it kind of resembles like a nostril. You do not have to do that though. And then as I'm going, I'm just going to add this really quick. It's very faint too. That's going to be like his cheekbone, or like his cheeks kind of like puffing out, if that makes any sense. Speaking of which, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And again, if you're new to my channel, I do have a history of kind of going all over the place with what I'm drawing. I don't usually stick in one area, so if that bothers you, I do want to apologize, but maybe this is not the video for you. Okay, so we have somewhat the face halfway there. The reason I'm not going further is because that's where his beard is going to come in, and you could theoretically sketch in his face shape, but I kind of find that pointless. I don't really want to do that. So we're going to just start with the eyes. I'm noticing in this little photo I'm looking at, they're just very cartoony, very simple, circle shape. I'm going to draw another circle looking kind of over here. I'm going to do my best attempt to replicate that over here. Although, because he is looking this way or turning this way, this one's going to seem a little thinner, more squished, and I'm just going to make sure this looks proportional, whatever. Okay, so it is good for the most part, but I'm going to ever so slightly just bring it down a little bit because it was a little too high or tall, or whatever word you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to stop about right there for that. We don't have to make everything perfect yet. I'm going to go in next with the eyebrows. And I'm just going to make these kind of simple. So I would, a fair distance away. And then you're going to arch it and bring it down like that. And then I am going to do the same for this one. Although I will say ahead of time, this will be covered up by his hat. So truthfully, I would leave it like this. But if you are really specific, or you want to just finish in the lines, you can. I'm just going to faintly do it, but you're not going to see that part, so I would recommend maybe not, because you're just going to draw right over it. Okay, next thing is I may as well go in and finish the, some of the eye details. By doing that, I'm going to put a little circle up here and one over here. You're going to see me make some changes actually, because that doesn't look right. Okay, and then honestly, I'm going to try to make another little circle right here, and as you know, that is the pupil. And then I'm just going to start shading that just like that. Alright, so next thing is we're gonna hop right in with his mustache and his beard and basically just creating the rest of his body, or in this case his head. So I'm gonna start with the line that will basically, you know, cover that part right here. You're gonna come out from about right here from the nose, and then I want to do like a little curve, like a little dip, bring it out, and it's gonna stop right here. And then of course you're gonna bring that in, and as you get closer it's gonna get a little bit close together, and then I'm gonna basically do the same thing over here. And some of this will actually, this part could definitely be optional. This might go up a little bit further. The photo reference I'm looking at does touch a bit or overlap a bit of his hat. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Otherwise I'm gonna keep trying to make some changes and adjustments. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put in his mouth, which again looks very cartoony. I might even struggle with this part a little bit because it's kind of tricky looking. From right a little bit away from this part of the mustache, I'm gonna zoom in real quick. I'm gonna make a weird squiggly line almost. Then I'm gonna stop about right there, not too big, and then from here I'm gonna bring out a shape like that. And this is gonna slightly, and again I say slightly, overlap and go a little bit past. And then you can make like a shape like that, and there is like a very cheesy, cartoony smile. Of course later we're gonna shade that, kind of, you know, make it look more like a mouth. And now the signature big white beard. So I'm gonna go out quite a bit, and there is no secret behind this, so we're just gonna make little pokey little things like that, just indicating really cartoony hair. I'm gonna have to probably scoot this down or maybe zoom back out. You can definitely make the beard as long as you want. I'm just gonna make it like I see in the photo and the traditional, for the most part, you know, long white beard. And I would even go so far as to make just an occasional little extra detail, 100% optional. And the reason I'm not finishing up over here, there's going to be the hat. It's going to kind of overlap. We might not even need to finish up over here. And I'm going to have to make some changes as well, mainly in regards to darkening it so that it pops more out, or it pops out more. If I could speak, that'd be great. But the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of his hair, I guess is what this is. Can't really tell. Yeah, I just see a few like squiggly lines, and then this part kind of peeks out like that. And this is not his hat though, so if you think that's what this is, it is not. And then I do see another thing back here. Again, I will insert the photo that I'm looking at so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's very faint. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I might even suggest skipping this step, but it's 100% up to you. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down from right about here, and this is where I was talking about earlier. This part is going to come down, and it really dips down. I'm going to have to zoom back out, and don't worry, I'll get this later. Then we are going to bring out a part like that, and this part is going to be pretty thick. You know, it's going to be a really fluffy, Christmassy hat. So yeah, we're going to basically do something like that. And this part I might have a little trouble with, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna kind of bring that in just very slightly, make some changes over here. And then this part is gonna kind of tuck behind here. I would maybe suggest making this longer. Again, that's completely optional. I might even change to where this kind of curls up more, because we're not really supposed to see this part here. So as you can see, even I definitely, you know, do make mistakes. It happens, not a big deal. Then I'm gonna finish up here though, just so I can get everything in place. You don't have to follow this exactly step by step. I might not even be explaining everything step by step, even though I try to. I'm actually gonna overlap this part, kind of like that, kind of curve it down, I'm gonna bring this part out a little bit more. Apologies, I'll erase that here. Then we're gonna bring that out and bring it in like that. And you can even make just a basic circle shape if you want. I'm gonna do that real quick, but then I'm gonna add some little fuzzies to it, as well as make some changes, so I'll be right back. Okay, so for the most part, we are almost done. I just wanted to do a couple finishing touches. For example, right here, I'm going to shade this in like so. And I think we left off with just explaining this part. I didn't do anything super major, just added some little fuzzy looking things and darkened a few things. I would really like to go over it with ink. I'm not sure if I can over this video, but just wanted to bring it to life a little bit more, make it pop out just a little bit. Now I'm just gonna go and shade a few extra things that I think should be shaded. And that's going to include adding some definition to his cheekbones, or just his cheeks, and his nose, and possibly the hat and the beard. So this part is optional, like with a lot of other things. So if you are pretty much happy with what you have, you don't even have to stay for this part. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ever so slightly kind of bring my pencil around over and over like that. Same thing over here. I am not putting any pressure pretty much. I'm just very, very faintly kind of swishing it around everywhere. And the same for the nose. By doing that, it kind of gives it that effect that he has like a red nose and red cheeks and things of that nature. And I think this next part I'll either do a time lapse or I'll just kind of edit it out, or basically to make the video a little less long. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and shade his hat and probably some of the beard and stuff, and that's about it. All right, and there you have it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped anybody out there, even if by a little bit. Let me know what you want to see down in the comments next. I usually don't do anything related to holidays. I mean, I think I've done like one Valentine's Day themed drawing video. But if you want to see more of these type of things, again, feel free to let me know. I'm open for any sort of request. And if you're interested in following me on any social media, I do have an Instagram, Twitter, obviously a YouTube if you want to subscribe. And again, my commissions are open. I also do have a Redbubble store, hoping to add more to that as well. And with that being said, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you again.